Welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. It's been a couple days, and it's not because I haven't had anything I wanted to talk to you about. Quite the opposite. Actually, I have quite a few things I want to talk about that are late now because I wasn't able to get them to you sooner. But here we are nonetheless. This weekend held me from getting to you because on Saturday morning, I awoke to finding out that one of my cats, Cole, was sick. And many of you know Cole because she loves to show up when I'm doing a live stream. I'm talking about the black bobtail. She's so precious and she was sick. And so I spent quite a bit of time on Saturday communicating with the vet and trying to figure out if I was going to have to get her in for an emergency visit. And it was just, my heart wasn't in anything other than making sure she was okay. So thank God she is okay. And we didn't have to go to the emergency for the emergency appointment. We were able to, anyway, she's good. Thank God. So then Sunday after church, it just wasn't a day conducive to talking to you, but here I am today. And so I want to talk about the interview that Coach Stephanie White of the Indiana Fever had with Sue Bird on her podcast. I want to focus on this video with what she had to say about Caitlin Clark in terms of Caitlin's work ethic. I'm going to play this for you, and then we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to talk about what someone else has said about Caitlin, and it'll all come together. And then I want to show you something because, it's been a while since we had a chance to see Caitlin play. So we got to look at this because it falls in line with what Stephanie White was saying about her. So let's go to Sue Bird's podcast.
With Caitlin, she's a hard worker because of what she's been able to accomplish. But until you see that there's no wasted, movements, no wasted reps, no wasted anything, you just have such a level of respect for how she goes about her work every day. And understanding the spotlight that she's on, understanding the weight that she carries because of who she is. And I've said this before, like she's literally like Taylor Swift 2.0. And that somehow she's able to compartmentalize and come to the gym, get everything that she has to get done. She's off doing everything all the time, but when she's there, she's working. I have such great, and yes. And she's an elite mind. She sees things 2 or 3 passes ahead as well.
What I like about that is she spoke to the whole person of Caitlin. She talked about how it is when you see her work ethic in person. But then you can't just talk about Caitlin Clark, the basketball player. She's more than a basketball player. And so she terms her Taylor Swift 2.0, whatever. I don't care about Taylor Swift one way or the other, but Caitlin does, right? And so that's got to be a great compliment for her. What she means by that is how huge she is, how much of an impact she has, how many people want to have a piece of her, so to speak, which is the way we talk about people that other people are very, very much attracted to in terms of getting to know them and hearing from them and all of those things. And she says Caitlin has all the stuff to do. And yet she comes to work every day and the work ethic is unparalleled. Now that jumped out for me because I just recall as a coach, there are people who are decent or even good or even great athletes. Some are even great basketball players. And I distinguish that at the high school level because at the high school level, you will often find yourself coaching people who are more athletic than they are true basketball players. But sometimes their athleticism outweighs everyone else's. And so they're just quicker, faster, stronger, etc. But there are people who are talented athletically and basketball wise, but they don't have the passion that causes them to show up every day and never waste anything. But Caitlin is like many great athletes, all about getting the work done, getting better, and ensuring that you do what needs to be done to get the victory, to be able to compete at an elite level. And people like that often are not understood by other people who don't share that same fire. So let's refresh our memory of Caitlin's first workout with Stephanie White. Stephanie told us that until you see it, you don't even understand how she never wastes anything, how Caitlin is all in and doesn't waste a rep, doesn't waste a shot, doesn't waste anything. So let's remind ourselves of what it looks like when Caitlin got into the gym with Stephanie White and staff for the very first time. The Indiana Fever posted, and this was December 16th, 2024, Caitlin Clark's first workout with head coach Stephanie White. Cece was working on everything for her second season. I mean, everything. Unfortunately, she got injured and only got to play 13 games. And some people have really strong opinions about that season and the coach and all this other stuff. And again, I say Cece played 13 games. We have no idea how things would have gone had she played the full season. Those 13 games were not even consecutive games, and she wasn't herself. And the team was still gelling. It's early in the season. So obviously, you've been around basketball, any sport for a while, you know it takes a while for a team to gel. So we have no idea. But we do know, and the coach said, you don't realize how hard she works until you see it for yourself. And obviously, Coach Stephanie saw it. That was the first time they worked out together in the same gym. She'd seen her from afar, but being there and seeing how she rolls, yeah, it's another level. Michael Jordan, they say, was an incredible talent. And I don't mean they say he was an incredible talent. He was an incredible talent. They say, some say, he wasn't the best teammate. I don't know if that's true or not, but they say it was hard to be a teammate of his because of the way he worked, the way he pushed, the fact that he didn't waste anything. And he wanted that from everyone else. Caitlin, however, is unique because although she wants to be the best of the best of the best, and she's serious about what she's doing in that gym and about making her game excellent, you still see Caitlin being the kind of teammate that other people want to be around. And that's why I say you've got to look at the whole picture. Like Stephanie White said, like until you're there, you don't even understand the work ethic. But then when we as fans watch and when her teammates talk about her, many of them will say how much fun she is, how goofy she is, how she's like a big kid. And that's a rare combination, to be that intense and to be that good at your craft and yet know how to have a good time. Even as an English teacher, I've taught students who were so intense about what they did, and you had to kind of pull them into being not just intense about what they're doing and good about what they're doing, but to enjoy the process. And I think Caitlin brings both of those things together: extreme talent and extreme likability, because she's doesn't get lost in the fact that this is supposed to be something we enjoy. She's serious, and she expects you to be serious, and she's coming in there to work, but she's also chill. Let's listen to what Kelsey Mitchell had said about that when she was on Sue Bird's podcast before. It's just a quick flashback.
Because she likes to, like, you know, talk about basketball and kind of troll a little bit. Yeah,
goodness.
Exactly.
You're talking about a kid in the candy store. That's Caitlin.
Yeah.
Tutu, she is, but in a good way. She's a live light.
That sums up the person. The person. She's more than the basketball player. The player and the person, even outside of basketball, or even the person that shines during basketball. Nobody wants to be around sourpusses, right? You want to be able to be with people who are good, who work hard, and are fun. Something that Stephanie White said about Caitlin that I'm sure you caught was about her passing and how she sees so far ahead. I think it's a good time to take a look again and just enjoy what we got to see, the little bit we got to see from Caitlin, and how well she passes and how she sees ahead so she can pass so well. Indiana Fever posted on X, chef's kiss. Mwah. Caitlin Clark's passing in Phantom. Keep your eyes on her eyes in some of these clips as she prepares to pass the basketball. She is seeing so much around her. Just a little flashback of Caitlin Clark on the floor, passing the basketball. Pass the rock, Caitlin, pass it. Yeah, she loves to pass the rock. And then, of course, the flashback of what Kelsey Mitchell had to say about her and her first workout with Coach Stephanie White and staff. I really feel like what I just did right here is sum up the totality of Caitlin as we know her anyway, and that is a baller, a competitor, one who will not be outworked, but also someone who's chill, can have a good time. Her teammates enjoy her. And unfortunately, because she was injured, the fans, not only did we get to see her signing autographs before the games, but she was having a blast on the sideline. It's like making lemonade out of lemons because you can't play, but you can surely cheer on your teammates and jump up and down and do the things that Caitlin was doing throughout the season. So if you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, please. And then also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.